It's November and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, makers, monsters, and a revolutionary idea. Welcome to the November edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Now, November is not really our busiest month for activities, but somehow the newsletter is still 32 pages long. Along with our partners at Parents Magazine, we're hosting the Sock It To Me Drive, collecting new and unused socks for children and adults throughout the community. We're hosting all kinds of music. Everything from local bands on our Red Stick Rhythms streaming platform, to heavy metal, to kids orchestra and pick up and play. And leaning into all the things we do with the Seed Library, Garden Discoveries, and the Master Gardeners, we've scheduled a community gardening day this month. We're calling it the Rewild the Library, and we've planned a full day of activities, including planting a new large-scale native plant pollinator garden on the grounds of the main library at Goodwood. GIS Day returns on November 19th, and we've scheduled the 5th installment of the Small Business Engine series for December 9th with Building Your Growth Pipeline. Previous episodes are archived on the library's website at ebrpl.co/engine series. I'm happy to report that the renovation and expansion of the Scotlandville Branch Library is going full speed ahead. You can see walls now, and we've selected an architect for the Baker Branch renovation expansion project. Details and progress photos can be found on the Capital Improvements page of the library's website. And let's not forget that the library's 10-year dedicated tax comes up for renewal on Saturday, November 15th. That's a home game day for both LSU and Southern, so library advocates are encouraging folks to vote early. Information about the millage, which is part of the Thrive EBR plan, is available on the library's website and in this month's issue of The Source, available in print and online at ebrpl.com.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
For every kind of service or resource that the library offers in the real world, we've tried to offer something to parallel it in the digital library. So since our in-person activities with representatives from local trades were so successful during career events, we looked for an online platform that offered hands-on skills training in a variety of trades. It's time to find out more in the digital download.
Interplay Achieve is a new platform that replaces Skill Mill in the digital library. In Interplay Achieve, you'll find over 450 hours of expert-led training on trade skills like HVAC, electrical, industrial maintenance, automotive, rigging, and more. Completing courses can also earn industry certifications. The award-winning training platform leverages 3D simulations and VR-based learning to provide hands-on experience in a risk-free environment. These interactive courses help learners build confidence and competency faster than traditional training methods, reducing time to proficiency and improving job placement outcomes. The training courses and simulations can be accessed from home 24/7 on a computer, or you can book time at a library makerspace to use it with a virtual reality headset for a more immersive experience. It's a great way to learn skilled trade job skills, or even to just experience some of the job tasks to see if you like them. If you're not looking for a career in the trades, it's also really useful to pick up some home DIY repair skills. You'll find Interplay Achieve and Transfer, our other VR training resource, in the digital library at ebrpl.com.
I like everything about this service. What a great way to try out a trade or upskill your abilities. To complement this augmented virtual reality experience, we also offer access to the Transfer platform in the digital library. Let's shift gears now and go beyond the stacks.
Hi, I'm Allison Gentiloni, and I'm the Community Programming Librarian here at the Main Library. We're here today at the Main Library for our yearly Maker Fair. This year's theme is film. So we brought in tons of local filmmakers, lots of community organizations. We're going to be having workshops all day long. We want to be able to bring together makers of all different types from all different parts of Baton Rouge to have them be able to connect with each other and with the community to teach people about what they're working on. Hopefully collaborations will happen from there. There's so many different things to learn about here today. We have the Astronomical Society out, as well as like the rocks and minerals. There are so many hands-on activities that people can just explore and create and make.
My name is Baton. I am an animatronics designer and builder. I build creatures and puppets for the entertainment industry. If there's a puppet or a thing that needs to be remote controlled or motorized in some way, that's what I do. I build things like that. I used to go to the library when I was a kid and check out robot books and how to build this and how to build that. Also old movie rentals. You can go back to the 80s and find classic creature flicks in the age of CGI and AI. People kind of lost the fact that physical things can be made and they can come off the screen and be in the real world. So it is cool for people to see, a full size. If I was a kid and I saw that, I would have flipped out.
Hi, I'm Clay Ashe. I'm a local filmmaker and puppet guy. But today I am a Foley artist with my friend Michael Russo, which is something we did years ago in the film industry as we were coming up. So years ago when I was coming up in the film industry, I had friends who were in the sound department, which I joined. We would do mixing and boom operating on movies that shot around Louisiana. But we also moved into Celtic Studios where we had a recording studio where we did dialogue replacement and Foley sound effects. It is a less known about part of the filmmaking process. We are doing a Buster Keaton movie called The Goat, and we are adding Foley sound effects live to the movie, which is not at all how we did it. We're adding a lot of really fun cartoon sound effects, and it's been a joy to get back into Foley art. It's exciting to see kids here so young, growing up here in Baton Rouge, just like me, who now have grizzled old veterans like myself to talk to them about how we got in and what happened to us and that sort of thing. The idea that kids could fall in love with film is the most exciting part of being here today.
Our 12th Baton Rouge Maker Fair was a rousing success. We welcomed thousands of attendees throughout the day, and they participated fully in our movie-centric events, as well as with all of our makers. The expressions on people's faces says it all. Stay right there. After the break, Brandon Riley joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that making things is good for us all. That's why we have maker spaces at 4 locations and a 3D printing service at the main library. The maker spaces have a variety of tools and equipment to enable both creative and practical projects. This includes 3D printers, sewing machines, audio-visual gear, and much more. Get a library card. Get free access to makerspaces at ebrpl.com/makerspaces.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that staying informed is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to the New York Times and other national newspapers online. Permit free access to niche magazines and articles through Press Reader. Get a library card. Get informed at ebrpl.com/newspapers.
tell my son, I love you, every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
You're watching the November edition of the Library Roadshow, everything you need to know about your local library system. Brandon Riley has been working with programming and community outreach for over a year now, and since the Maker Faire is now behind us, he's ready to move on to the next big thing, International Game Day. All right, Brandon, what is Game On at the library?
Game On will be held on Saturday, November 15th from 10 to 3 p.m. here at the library. It is every game imaginable will be here. Card games, tabletop games, strategy games, Connect Four.
Giant games.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Team
Life-size.
games, card games. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience for all ages. We love games at the library. They promote strategic thinking. They promote teamwork. They promote community. They bring families together. Sometimes they split families apart.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Yes.
So what's on the menu for this game day? How is it organized? I just show up?
You just show up. There will be tables set up with various types of games. Some games, some of the more complicated games actually have a sign up. So if you go to our website and go to the calendar, you can sign up to be part of maybe a Dungeons and Dragons type adventure.
Okay, for role playing.
For role playing. Other games are just show up and just slot yourself in as a turn.
Now, what if I don't know how to play a game? Because, people don't even know how to play tic-tac-toe anymore.
Well, people ask me all the time about Pokemon, and I just have to tell them I just don't know. So, but there's
does.
an expert out there that does, and those experts will be there for Game On.
So,
and they will
they'll
teach
be
you.
like scattered around the area, and it's more than one room. As I understand, you're taking over the entire library.
The entire library will be given over to games, and also we're going to have some local experts here, including people from Little Wars, who will help people through those role-playing games.
I love that. Now, so who should come? Everyone?
Everyone.
Little kids?
Great-grandma? Grandparents. Anybody who enjoys playing games.
Teenagers?
Especially teenagers.
I love it. So we can register on the website if we want to be slotted into one of those special games, but otherwise we just show up?
Otherwise you just show up.
Now, what other options does the library have for people who are interested in games?
Well, you may notice behind us, we have board games that can be checked out. We also have family activity bags that can be checked out from the teen room. Within the bags are entire activities worth of equipment. So let's say you want to do some croquet. Right?
It's in there.
It's in there, right? Some volleyball, it's in there. Some lawn darts.
It's in there. I love that. And how do we find out more?
www.ebrpl.com.
That's right. And of course, it's on the cover of this month's edition of The Source, available in print and online at ebrpl.com. Thanks, Brandon. For me, critical thinking, stealth learning, and family togetherness, games have it all. I still look back with delight on the life-size version of Hungry, Hungry Hippo games that the Teen Services introduced to us so long ago. Now, after the break, we'll hear from author Stone Key. Stay with us.
Supporting the education of students is good for us all. That's why we provide access to live online tutoring through Homework Louisiana. Get a library card. Get free education at ebrpl.com/homeworkhelp.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Free entertainment is good for us all. That's why we make ebooks and audiobooks available through the Libby app. Get a library card. Get free entertainment at ebrpl.com/digital library.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Welcome back to the November edition of the Library Roadshow. We met my next guest at the Louisiana Book Festival last year. Stone Key is a prolific Louisiana author. He writes in the horror fantasy genre with a little humor sprinkled throughout. Stone Key joins me now by phone to discuss his new book entitled The Afterlife of Kai Dodson, Book 1, Death's Arbiter. Stone, how'd you get your start as an author?
Well, I tend to read a lot of books about magic, wizards, warlocks, mages. One night I was halfway through a book. It was a great book, and I put it down and tried to go to sleep. Well, I have a little bit of insomnia, so I couldn't get to sleep. And the chapter I'd finished was a scene where the bad guy wins. The villain does something bad, and someone gets hurt and that type of thing. And so in my mind, I think I didn't like the way that ended. And so I came up with my own character that would save the day. And every night after that, I kept doing that over and over. Eventually, I had enough for a book. And one day I just sat down, and about 14 months later, I had myself a book.
What is Death's Arbiter really about?
Death's Angel is book 2 of a series about Kai Dodson. Kai died in around the early 1900s. When he died, he went to work for Death. And in my series, Death is kind of that balance between heaven and hell. The two are always at war with each other, and Death basically kind of keeps the two from annihilating each other and Earth. In book 2, Kai is loaned to God in heaven by Death to track down an assassin who's killing heaven's elite angels. In that, during the process, you get to meet Kai's angelic girlfriend and many of his friends. Book 3, which is being edited right now, we'll see Kai being loaned to Satan. He goes to hell to help in a civil war in hell.
What inspired you to write the book?
The Afterlife of Kai Dodson series definitely it takes a different take of heaven, hell, and earth, and kind of what the Bible tells us. And I have my own religious beliefs and thoughts, and I've seen a lot of the movies about heaven and hell, and I just wanted to basically write a book about how I see things, how, heaven is a great place, but it's not all about angels, on clouds singing hallelujah type of thing. So it's definitely a different take, and it's done well. A lot of people like it.
What advice would you give to aspiring authors?
Write. Continue to write. A lot of people will write a few pages, not like what they see, and give up. There are some people out there that will sit down, write a book, and it'll make tens of millions of dollars off that. Most of us aren't like that. We have to hone our craft. Well, the way to do that is write, follow writers like on Facebook pages and things, share your work and have them critique it so you can get better and better. It's the only way that you'll get better at your writing and succeed.
How can our viewers learn more about you and your work?
First of all my books are on Amazon.com. In my author page, Stone Key, Keye. So you can go there. Facebook, I have my Stone Key Facebook page. I try and keep that updated, so head out there. Many of my books are also on audio books, and they're available on audible.com. And then I also have a website called stonekeybooks.net.
Thanks, Stone. Good luck with this series. And while we're on the topic of death in the horror fantasy genre, The library recently featured fierce females of Louisiana's wildlife, shining the light on the true and deadly female of the species.
My name is Jessica McDaniel. I'm a librarian here at the Main Library at Goodwood, and we're here today to talk about scary ladies in nature. Well, I've been a librarian here for a while, and for the last 5 or so years, I've been doing a lot of horror programming for adults. We do a lot of horror film screenings. Lately, we've been doing big crafts and exercise classes and all sorts of things where you can incorporate the horror genre into it. And recently, I became a certified master naturalist. The thing that really kind of drew me in is learning about the scary parts of nature to kind of overcome those fears. And I wanted to share that with everyone else and explore the horrors of nature, things that are frightening or scary, and make them a little bit fun. Today's topic is specifically about lethal ladies, so females in nature that are very impressive or fierce or frightening or even fatal, and comparing them to horror tropes and horror characters and icons that people might recognize. I break it down into 3 categories: behaviors, design, and motherhood. So these different aspects that can really show how fierce and lethal and intimidating and impressive females in nature and in movies are. The horror genre itself kind of leans towards adults. There are some great scary and horror genre examples in children's and teens. I happen to just specialize in the kind that just, it's a little bit scarier. I think it's important that we have programs that cover a variety of topics. And I think it's important to gear towards a variety of interests. It's so information heavy in terms of finding different animals to explore, finding different horror films and thriller films that I can connect to those local creatures. I love that the East Baton Rouge Parish Library is so accessible. I might be biased because I've been working for the library for almost 18 years, but that also means that I've got a lot of experience in a lot of different places and roles within the library, so I get to see, you know, the front desk and helping people find answers to the questions that they have. But I also was lucky enough to be able to put on programming, and I feel like it's a big strength of EBRPL is our programming. And the programming is something that, yeah, it brings people into the library, but it also connects the people to the resources that we have. It's a way for us to talk about, hey, this is what these are the things that we have in our library. This is something that's really interesting. And you get to meet other people who you wouldn't have normally met who have those similar interests. I feel like that's a really, really big role, is that the strength of the library is that we are such a community connector. And doing things like this, finding fun ways to bring people in and explore the resources that we have, is something that I really, really enjoy doing.
People are truly fascinated by how life and death play out in the natural world. Thanks to the Louisiana Naturalists for sharing. Stay right there. You're watching the Library Roadshow.
Staying informed is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to the New York Times and other national newspapers online. Get a library card. Get informed at ebrpl.com/newspapers.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
You're watching the November edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Next year, our country will celebrate its 250th anniversary, and to help us prepare, renowned filmmaker Ken Burns has produced a wonderful new documentary series called The American Revolution. LPB, our local public television station, arranged for us to offer you a sneak peek of this new series. But we didn't stop there. We hosted the Sons of the American Revolution, Little Wars, the Louisiana Vintage Dancers, and of course, tea at the event. Check it out.
My name is Colleen Spillane. I'm with Louisiana Public Broadcasting, and I take care of community engagement. Louisiana Public Broadcasting always loves to partner with the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Today we're doing a day full of revolutionary fun in support of an upcoming PBS documentary by Ken Burns called The American Revolution. This is a documentary that's been over 8 years in the making, and if people are fans of Ken Burns, they know his work and they know that it is exhaustively researched. Therefore, to tell this story of America's founding is going to take 6 nights and 12 hours. It'll premiere Sunday night, November 16th at 7, and it's going to run the entire week at 7 o'clock through Friday. So it's very detailed in Ken Burns fashion, but very worth it. LPB always loves to partner with East Baton Rouge Parish Library because we both have the same ideas. We both want to help educate people, and we both want to be able to do that for free. So like the library, LPB offers educational resources that are free to anyone to access. Library is a great meeting place for the community, so we always know that it's a great area for us to partner with. Today at the library, people are the first folks to get a sneak peek of this documentary that we're so excited about. So we've got several sessions where we're going to show previews of the documentary. The Sons of the American Revolution are doing a Boston tea tasting, and we're going to have dancers and musicians that are going to be performing period dances. And hopefully we're going to hear from Governor Bernardo de Galvez, Louisiana's own revolutionary hero, as well. The American Revolution documentary is really PBS's signature kickoff to America's 250th birthday. So we're really excited to be able to share this with the public and get people excited about that event.
To carry on with the spirit of 1776, James Linden Hogg will perform traditional Revolutionary era music at the library in November. The library will offer additional programs leading up to the big celebration next July, but this helps us get off on the right foot. And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/EBRPL. What's your revolutionary idea on how to celebrate next year? That's facebook.com/EBRPL, and while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in December? Season's readings, of course. Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow, and remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 15 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.